prominent place, to be remembered and obeyed forever. No animal shall sleep in a bed. No animal shall drink alcohol. 4 legs good, 2 legs bad.
4 legs good, 2 legs bad. That was only till the pigs kicked the humans out, moved into the house, and they started walking on 2 legs and said, 4 legs good, 2 legs okay. And by the end, 2 legs good, 4 legs bad. And the old workhorse that helped the revolution come into power, and it was honorable and good. When they were done with that old horse that worked himself to death, they loaded him up, sold him to the humans, and took him away to be turned into glue and chopped into dog food. I want to read Animal Farm from a devout communist that was at the highest levels of British intelligence, setting up the communist, and then realized it was all about enslaving humanity and Satanism. Go read the letters and books Orwell wrote before he died that were nonfiction. All communism is feudalism with new feudal lords.
The Tommy Burst has automatic bolt action. Fire off a burst of 10 shots. Pull the bolt again, you're reloaded. The exciting new Tommy Burst detective set includes wallet, badge, and ID. We interrupt our regular program schedule to bring you the following special report from BBC News in Washington.
As President and Commander-in-Chief, it is my duty to the American people to report that renewed hostile actions against United States ships on the high seas in the Gulf of Tonkin have today required me to order the military forces of the United States to take action in reply.
In retaliation for this unprovoked attack on the high seas, our forces have struck the bases used by the North Vietnamese patrol craft.
It would allow the president to wage war in Vietnam. History claims the attack was accidental. Some former U.S. naval officers said it was on purpose. They described the day's action as part of a continuing recovery.
They took the babies out of the incubators. They took the incubators and left the children to die on the cold floor.
Now is the time to check the aggression of this ruthless dictator whose troops have bayoneted pregnant women and have ripped babies from their incubators in Kuwait.
They had kids in incubators, and they were thrown out of the incubators so that
people have fancy titles. Ed Meese under Reagan had fancy titles, but Jim Baker, everything that mattered. All of those duties, plus possibly the most important duty, which is to tell the president what he doesn't want to hear.
The bad news.
Bad news.
What I didn't know is that Jimmy Carter, as president, you say he didn't really understand the importance of the chief of staff job, and that hurt him. What did you learn from that?
Think about Jimmy Carter and Ronald Reagan for a minute. Jimmy Carter was arguably the most intelligent president on paper elected in the 20th century. He was a nuclear scientist. He could talk about the throw weights of nuclear warheads. Ronald Reagan was described unfairly as an amiable dunce. But Reagan intuited something that Carter did not understand, and by the way, the current president does not understand either, which is that an outsider president needs a consummate insider to get things done. And he found one, Reagan did, in James A. Baker III. Carter thought he could run the White House by himself.
Who else was at your home? Were you alone?
I was alone, yes.
The whole night?
Well, yes, the whole night.
Well, I don't know why that's funny. I mean, did you have any in-person briefings?
Sorry, a little note of levity at 7:15.
Well, I mean, the reason I say it's not funny is because it went well into the night when our were still in danger. So I don't think it's funny to ask you if you were alone the whole night.
Congresswoman, you asked if I had a skiff. I had secure phones. I had other equipment that kept me in touch with the State Department at all times.
He
They can have forgetfulness.
Is that video we're showing a seizure?
Well,
Maybe.
It certainly could be.
Maybe we'll watch it right here. Let's just I want to watch it closely here. Watch the reporter back right there. You see the look, and it goes on and on and on. That is, to me, bizarre.
There's certainly some neurologic issue going on when this tape was taken, but 30% of the patients that have some sort of the post-traumatic injuries, they can have cognitive issues, forgetfulness. Sometimes they can forget words and phrases.
So I can show, just to be clear on, I talked to a top epileptologist today, a seizure specialist, one of the top in the country, that does not think that's a seizure. So I want to be clear. We need the records to be able to make those determinations.
In 2004, my son was stationed in Iraq. He saw a suicide bomber approaching his camp. My son moved forward to stop the bomber. When the bomb, he saved everyone in his unit. Only one American soldier died. My son was Captain Humayun Khan. He was 27 years old, and he was a Muslim American. I want to ask Mr. Trump, will my son have a place in your America?
I'm Hillary Clinton, and I approve this message. 40 years.
Your schools are no good. You have no jobs. Look at my African American over here.
Trump management was charged with discriminating against African Americans and breaking federal law.
I have a great relationship with the blacks. I've always had a great relationship with the blacks. What the hell do you have to lose?
I'm Hillary Clinton, and I approve this message.
Should the woman be punished for having an abortion? There has to be some form of punishment. A person who's flat-chested is very hard to be attacked. Planned Parenthood should absolutely be defunded. They said, how are you going to change the pageant? And I said, I'm going to get the bathing suits to be smaller and the heels to be higher. You wouldn't have your job if you weren't beautiful. How do you ban abortion? How do you actually do it? Well, you'll go back to a position like they had where people will perhaps go to illegal places. Yeah. But you have to ban it. So you treat women with respect? I can't say that either. All right, good.
I'm Hillary Clinton, and I approve this message. History of kind of moving in and out of Pakistan. I mean, let's remember here, the people we are fighting today, we funded 20 years ago. And we did it because we were locked in this struggle with the Soviet Union. They invaded Afghanistan, and we did not want to see them control Central Asia. And we went to work. And it was President Reagan in partnership with the Congress, led by Democrats, who said, you know what, sounds like a pretty good idea. Let's deal with the ISI and the Pakistani military, and let's go recruit these mujahideen, and That's great. Let's get some to come from Saudi Arabia and other places, importing their Wahhabi brand of Islam so that we can go beat the Soviet Union. And guess what? They retreated. They lost billions of dollars, and it led to the collapse of the Soviet Union. So there's a very strong argument, which is, it wasn't a bad investment to end the Soviet Union, but let's be careful what we sow because we will harvest. So we then left Pakistan. We said, okay, fine, you deal with the stingers that we've left all over your country. You deal with the mines that are along the border. And by the way, we don't want to have anything to do with you. In fact, we're sanctioning you. So we stopped dealing with the Pakistani military and with ISI, and we now are making up for a lot of lost time.
Days after 9/11, I went through the Pentagon and I saw Secretary Rumsfeld, Secretary Wolfowitz. I went downstairs just to say hello to some of the people on the Joint Staff who used to work for me, and one of the generals called me and he said, "Sir, you got to come in. You got to come in and talk to me a second." I said, "Well, you're too busy." He said, "No." He says, "We've made the decision. We're going to war with Iraq." This was on or about the 20th of September. I said, "We're going to war with Iraq. Why?" He said, "I don't know." He said, "I guess they don't know what else to do." So I said, "Well, did they find some information connecting Saddam to Al-Qaeda?" He said, No. He says, "There's nothing new that way. They just made the decision to go to war with Iraq." He said, "We don't know what to do about terrorists, but we got a good military and we can take down governments." And he said, "I guess if the only tool you have is a hammer, every problem has to look like a nail." So I came back to see him a few weeks later, and by that time we were bombing in Afghanistan. I said, "Are we still going to war with Iraq?" And he said, "Oh, it's worse than that." He said, he reached over on his desk, he picked up a piece of paper, he said, I just got this down from upstairs, meaning the Secretary of Defense's office today, and he said, "This is a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off Iran." The truth is about the Middle East is, had there been no oil there, it would be like Africa. Nobody is threatening to intervene in Africa. The problem is the opposite. We keep asking for people to intervene and stop it. And there's no question that the presence of petroleum throughout the region has sparked great power involvement. Whether that was the specific motivation for the coup or not, I can't tell you, but there's always been this attitude that somehow we could intervene and use force, and